straight out of Compton's kitchen. How y'all doing? Y'all all right? Are you having peace in the midst of this pandemic? Are you having faith in the midst of the floods and the fires? Are you having hope in the midst of the hurricanes? Are you having trust in the midst of the tornadoes? Are you having encouragement? Have you been encouraging yourself in the midst of the earthquakes? Have you not allowed anybody to jack you for your joy? I hope not. I sure haven't. Well, listen, guys. I came in here because I'm getting ready to start a new regimen. But what I'm doing is I'm preparing for a new regimen. I had to look in my life. You know what? I'm getting ready to be 30 for the second time next year, June 30th, 2022. Yes, I will be going into another phase of my life. And I just said, you know what? I don't want to be that grandmother in the middle of not the dining room. I don't want to be that grandmother in the middle of the living room floor in a hospital bed with my grandson and his friends coming over and them asking him, is that your grandmother? I don't want to be that grandmother. Listen, that's why they call me Grammy. So you know what? I got to take care of the temple. Paul said, what? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Ghost? So I gotta take care of the temple, y'all. Especially going into this next phase, especially with all these viruses, you know, what do they call it? Variants and transitioning into different viruses, and I can't think of the word that I want to use right now, but listen, I think the key is building up the immune system. And I can't have a whole lot of toxins going on inside of my body, eating any and everything and expecting things to be all right. Okay? So this is just me. I'm just getting ready to share with you all what I'm going to do. And then you can just watch the transformation as we go forward. You'll probably see that I've dropped some weight. You'll probably see that my countenance is going to be brighter because I'll be drinking more water. I'm trying to decide what types of foods I want to let go of. So you already know meat is not a problem for me. I just eat fish, and I'm only going to eat fish like maybe, I'm thinking maybe 3 days a week. But right now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna prepare to go into things easily. And eventually what I will do is a 10-day cleanse. No fried food, which I haven't been frying food anyway, but no pan frying, just raw vegetables, cooked vegetables, salads, a lot of water, nuts, seeds, and I think that's going to be about it. So I'm gonna ease into it. So right now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to cook some mustard greens and some collard greens. No turkey. The most I'm going to do with it is put some chicken broth into my, we call it liquor. Yeah, so I'm gonna do that. It's not the liquor like alcohol, but that's what we call it. This is the liquor of the greens, you know. So it's like the water base. I'm gonna season it real good, throw some jalapenos in there because I like a little kick. Of course, I'm gonna use some Slap Yo Mama, and I think that's going to be it for my greens. And I'm going to put those greens together, the mustards and the collards. I'm going to put those together. And I'm going to try to eat me some greens without the cornbread. I'm telling you, I'm ready to ease into this thing, this new way of eating, healthy cooking. What else? I'm going to, now I know I said I'm not going to fry any foods, so don't get it twisted when I say that I'm going to fry some cabbage. So what I'm going to do with the cabbage, I'm going to try some olive oil. Try not to use any butter, just some olive oil. Cut some onions fine. And what else did I want to put in there? Oh, the jalapeno, and some slap your mama. So I'm put that in a big pan and just let that simmer. And that's going to be it. Now, my parents, I asked, what do you want me to cook for you guys this week? Guess what they said? Some ribs. Man, I want them to eat healthy too, y'all. But those are my babies, so it's kind of like, well, whatever y'all want, that's what I'm gonna cook. So they want some barbecue ribs. I cook them in the oven really slow for about 8 hours. You remember Ray's ribs. Ray Charles, he loved Quincy Jones's ribs. Quincy Jones had a good recipe. He shared it with us. He shared it with Oprah. I read it in a magazine, and that's the way I've been cooking my ribs for years. I mean, over a decade I've been cooking these ribs, and now they're for my family. I used to cook them for myself, but I'm going into my 5th year, no meat. No pork, no chicken, no turkey, no hams, none of that. Okay, no poultry, no cows, no pigs, no turkeys. I guess that would be poultry, correct? Okay, so that's what I'm getting ready to do. All right, so I'll kind of let you know how I'm going as I go. Okay? All right, guys, here's my collards. And what I've done is I've washed them, even though it says that they've been washed 3 times, because I bought the kind that are in the bag, and the cut and clean greens. So I washed them again, and plus I wanted to get rid of the little, big pieces of, that's an oxymoron, little big pieces. These big pieces of stalk that's kind of like in the center of the leaf. So I pulled those away, washed them real good, and now I'm getting ready to do the same thing with my mustards. And then what I'll do is add some water, add my chicken broth, and let that kind of simmer. And then I'll just keep adding the greens, the mustards to the collards, but I'm gonna get the collards started. And in the meantime, I'll be chopping my jalapeno really fine. I'll probably only use maybe 1 jalapeno. Here's my curly mustards, y'all. I just finished washing them. I have my collards cooking on the stove. And they're gonna cook down. It looked like that pot was filled up. They're gonna cook all the way down. Let me tell you. I don't know why that happens, but it does. They don't stay all up at the top at the pot unless you put more in there. So I'm gonna add the curly mustards, and then I'm gonna start my seasoning process. And then just let them simmer until they get tender. All right, I'm letting you know every step of the way. Okay, guys, the greens are complete. They are finished. They are ready to eat. Look at that. These are my collards and my mustards, my curly mustards. I put a little bit of apple cider vinegar, like a 1/4 cup, about 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, a little bit of garlic, some slap your mama, and water, and a can of chicken broth. And you talking about good. Now, however, I am struggling with the idea of not having any cornbread. If I do cook cornbread, it's going to be without milk. I'll still use an egg. But we'll just see how it goes. I'm going to try to enjoy vegetables for a while. Seeds, nuts, raw vegetables, cooked vegetables, salads, and just kind of get away from the wheat, the starch, the carbohydrates. I'm just easing into a new way of eating. Okay, y'all. So I will talk to you when the meat is ready to go into the oven, when the meat is ready to come out of the oven, and then we will see one another next week. Okay? All right. I love you guys. Talk to you soon. Okay, guys. So I've just seasoned my meat with some Slap Your Mama. I seasoned on both sides. I cut my jalapenos in halves and my onions. So this is going to marinate the meat. And when you get ready to serve your dish, you'll remove and discard your jalapenos and your onions, and the flavor will just be there. You'll discard that, and for like the last hour of cooking, put on your sauce, your barbecue sauce, your favorite barbecue sauce. I love Bullseye, but like I said, I'm not eating this dish. This is for my parents. So that last hour, I will bake the ribs slowly. The temperature will be 325 degrees, I believe. If that's not right, I will correct myself on the screen. But I think it's 325 degrees. Let it cook for approximately 8 hours. So what I'm going to do is put my Reynolds wrap on top. Put this in the refrigerator until 6:30 in the morning. So let's see. That's about 6 hours, 6 to 7 hours in the refrigerator. It's best if you let it sit 24 hours, but I'm just gonna do 6 hours in the refrigerator, 8 hours in the oven, let it cook slowly, and that last hour add my sauce, and it will be good to go, y'all. And let me tell you what, the meat will be falling off the bone. Welcome back to Straight Outta Compton's kitchen. All right, y'all, it's a new day. And guess what? The ribs are ready for my parents. I cooked the greens last night, so they're ready to be transported over there. I'm gonna save enough for myself to eat this week, because remember, I'm working on a new regimen, trying to do things that are going to be pleasing to my body and help my body to get rid of all of the toxins, all of the waste, and just start putting good stuff in there. And guess what? When I put good stuff in, good things happen, good things are expelled, I feel better, I look better, I'm doing better, and it's all for the good of not only myself, my family, but also humanity. Amen. All right, so I'm gonna show you these ribs, y'all. They're falling off the bone. Let me go back over what I did. Remember, I washed them real good. Then I seasoned them. You know, I removed all of that casing and fat, removed all that. Seasoned them up real good, sliced my jalapenos, placed them on top, sliced my onion, placed it on top, put it in the refrigerator, and it was in the fridge for about 7 hours. Got up this morning, 6:30 a.m. I let them cook until 11:30. That's not right. I let them cook until 12:30, so that's 6 hours. Then I put my sauce on after I discarded all of the jalapenos and all of the onions. After I discarded all of that, I put my sauce on, brushed it on lightly, and then stuck it back in the oven for an hour. So I let them cook for 6 hours, put my sauce on, made sure I discarded all of the jalapeno and stuff, put my sauce on, and I love Bullseye Original, and then I stuck it back in the oven for an hour. So here we go. That's right, y'all. Look like something out of a restaurant, off of a smoker or a barbecue pit. Baby, straight out of Compton's kitchen. Went straight to the oven. Look at that. This is just falling off the bone. You see that? Well, I remember when I used to love and enjoy eating this kind of meat with all the sauce on there. I just can imagine what it tastes like. But I'm telling y'all, I just can't go back. It's been too long. Okay, and this is not a judgment call for people who eat meat. You know, this is a suggestion, not a sermon. I just suggest that we go back to what God told us to do in the beginning. And that is to eat the plants and to eat the herbs of the land, the seeds, the nuts of the land. Just a suggestion, not a sermon. Have an excellent day, guys. And know that Chef Vivio loves you.